bro, because it was like it was really on some, hey man, I was like, hey man, I can't come out and play. I gotta go do this. Like that's really how I felt.
Damn. For sure, man. But glad you finally came on, man.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Let me do my little intro that we can get it rolling. You know what I mean? All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Welcome back. This is episode. What episode is this?
I think 14, 13.
Oh, you've been paying attention. That was a 10.
I've been paying attention.
Episode 14 of the podcast, and finally got my man on, Jace Sternberger, in this thing. What's up, Jace? How you doing?
Glad to be here. You know, scheduling a little mix and matches, but we got it worked out.
Oh man, finally got it worked out. Supposed to be on like 2 weeks ago, man.
Supposed to be on, fashionably late.
So this is the real reason I wanted to have you on. I wanted to ask you, what the hell was that you sent me on Twitter, man?
Man, you talked about some. So this is one of those deals. I get a lot of crap for it. I don't wear. I used to have wireless headphones. I lost them. I was like, man, I ain't gonna pay for it.
Hold on. Let me tell the story first, though.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I tweeted out something. I was like, yo, big game. Game day. Beat the hell out of whoever we playing. I'm driving down the road. I'm listening to music.
Is it LSU or is UAB? It was a night game.
Yeah, UAB.
It was UAB.
And so I'm riding down the road, and I got a notification on my phone popped up. It was like reply from Jace Sternberger. I'm like, okay, he probably said something. He lied. He hyped for the game. Yeah.
Talk.
I click on it, and it's like a GIF. And it says like, what does it say?
Is it GIF or GIF?
I think it's GIF.
I've been saying GIF the longest, but
really?
I'm down to learn stuff.
But see, I don't know either. I'd say GIF.
Okay.
I don't know. Let's go with GIF. So it was a GIF, and it said like, I've been seeing you eyeballing me. It said something. I was like, what is this dude? I sit there and read it for like 5 minutes. I'm about to drive off the road, bro. I'm like, what is this dude talking about, man? And then you deleted it. And then you hit me and you were like.
Well, the thing is when I got to warm-ups, like I have a playlist already, kind of. Right. And see, I used to have wireless headphones, but they went missing after Kentucky, and it was kind of like, I'm not going to get some new ones. We only got 6 games left. You're a JUCO boy. Like, we're in the struggle. You know what I'm saying? I've been in struggle my whole life.
Yeah, you down for the struggle.
No, I'm playing. But, and I get so mad during warm-ups because me and Kellen always warm up on the 50.
Yeah. Facing
our end zone or our locker room. And for some reason, that's where all the coaches want to come talk, just chat. Like me and Kellen don't got stuff to do.
Right.
And I remember I was running some routes over by their coaches, and my music kept changing. So I'm like, man, like I not close it. I got gloves on, so I'm doing everything with my nose. I'm literally pulling out my phone, sliding, unlocking this and that.
It's a struggle, man.
And then I see my Twitter deal was open because I've texted people before. I've just sent a bunch of random stuff on Snap, and then I'm looking at Justin Dunning, and I'm like, what I tweet him? And I'm like, oh no, because I saw it on my TL. That's the worst. You don't even see it in your mentions. You see it on the TL, and you just scrolling like casually. I said, who said this to him? And the next thing you know, I'm like, gotta delete it. Yeah. My phone's all sweaty. I'm wiping it off. I'm like, bro, I'm so sorry. Like, what the hell?
You pocket tweeted me.
Yeah, pocket tweeted me, 100%.
That's funny, man. That's dope, man. So, we do on the podcast, man. We kind of take a step back and look at your upbringing a little bit. So you're from Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma, yeah.
Born and raised your whole life.
Not in the same city. I moved around a lot because of my dad's job. But
okay, what did your dad do?
So he started off when I was born. He was like I think he was just a science teacher and a wrestling coach. He coached a bunch of different stuff. Typical administrator at first. Then he got this is when I started remembering things. When things started getting serious for my life. Just having a little memory.
And move the mic a little bit.
It was at Fort Gibson. He was an assistant principal. Wrestling coach. Mom was coaching at Wagner, so I'm still a coach's kid. Then he just kept getting better job promotions for our family. Went to principal for a few years. Then he's been superintendent for 14, 15 years now. Okay. I'm into like 5 or 6 different schools. I've never lived in a place longer than 4 years.
Really?
So I'm constantly meeting new people, which is cool.
So what high school did you go
to? Kingfisher.
Okay, Kingfisher.
Small school. Like I graduated with about 95 kids.
Damn. What is it? Is that a bird or?
Yellow jacket.
Okay.
That's our mascot, the yellow jacket.
Kingfisher yellow jacket?
Oh, yeah, that's intimidating.
Y'all had yellow jerseys?
Navy and gold.
Okay, that's live.
But we never wore like all gold. It was like navy was our main color.
Okay. I was about to say, if it was like all yellow jersey, it'd be kind of.
Yeah, it was.
Like a mustard
ours
yellow.
Ours is kind of like, it's a little darker gold than that, but that's not gold.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a classy gold.
I like that. Okay, so what was your recruiting process like in high school? You were like a 2-star guy, 1-star?
They gave me those stars just to say they did. Yeah, really how it was, man. Like I said, I used to be I was 5'8" my freshman year. Not chunky, but I definitely was the most toned guy. Right. And I didn't even really I took sports serious, but it was like, just typical small school, high school. It just
you just out there playing.
Friday Night Lights, Tim Riggins have a cowboy collar. But then junior year, my dad said something. I was like, Coach Myers was like, he already has coaches asking about you, like some small, like D2s and stuff. And I was like, damn, that's crazy for me. You know, like, this is gonna be a blessing.
Right.
And so I kind of started taking myself, hit a growth spurt too. So I started taking myself a little more serious. Junior year, I got offered in April or May by South Dakota. Okay. So I was like,
the first one?
No, it was one of those, like, everybody's like, man, you're gonna blow up. And I'm like,
that's what
yeah, it's my time. Like, my time, this summer about to be crazy.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't here from a school for like 2 months.
Man.
It was Sam Houston State. I probably had the most junior day invites ever.
I
just never got the offer. It was like, hey, come visit. Like,
were you actually going to the visits?
Yeah, I was. That's the thing. I was going to. I didn't, not like that. I went to the local ones like Oklahoma State.
Yeah, right.
I think I went to OU and then Tulsa. But it was like, come in and
nobody want to offer you.
Yeah, it's like. Everybody always, I mean, people still think I'm littler than what I am. Like, when I was taking visits, I was like 217, and there's like guys guessing like, "Oh, you about to weigh 185," and I'm like, man, like
they disrespecting your weight, man.
But I mean, I was skinny, but I was just like, man, 30 pounds, like you can't, like this is how far we are. Yeah, but nah. And then so senior year comes along, I'm starting to get some FCS looks. And I really was about to go to JUCO. The JUCO I actually went to, I was going to go there out of high school. Okay. I had some friends there. They said they loved it. And I was like, yeah, really. It was one of those deals. It was like the what if. Like,
how far was that from home?
Miami was about 3.5, 4 hours. It depends who's driving. I got there quicker than most people.
You got there about an hour and a half.
Yeah, so some days I was, maybe, you wouldn't necessarily be speeding back there sometimes because it's like, man, JUCO was different. But so then, it was 2 weeks before. Yeah, it was my state semifinal game. It was 2 weeks before December. You know, that dead period right before early signing day. Coach Beatty got the job at Kansas. Called me and like at first there was no disrespect to Kansas, but my mind was made up on going to JUCO. I was like, man, I'm gonna go to JUCO, blow up. And then when Kansas came in the picture, I was just like, like
it's not Kansas.
I was like, man, I know I can go to get a big school. Like, it was no disrespect to Kansas, but then you know, Coach Beatty brought me out on a visit, loved it. Like, I loved the campus. Like, I love KU.
You like Coach Beatty?
Yeah, I got along with Coach Beatty great. You know, brought me in, and so did my time. And it was like I didn't want to do anything else really, so I was there for 2 years, and then I was on like my third offensive coordinator. I really wasn't even playing tight end anymore. I was doing more like H-back stuff. Like,
I had you doing like a lot of blocking and stuff.
Yeah, no, it was a weird phase for me. It was like one of those. It's just a stage, mom. Like it was just a phase. That's really what it felt like for me. I was just like,
how far was Kansas from Oklahoma?
4 hours.
Okay, so it's not too far, but
nah, it was one of those deals like, you know, I'm still far away from stuff, but it's like if something bad happened, I can still get home.
What's the weather like out there?
Man, nothing like what you think of Kansas. Like, you know, you think Kansas, you think flat, like wheat fields, boring, farmers. Like, you're gonna be doing you're gonna do a lot of outside work. There's no inside jobs. You know what I'm saying? But KU was actually the opposite, probably the most hilly. I don't even know if that's a word. Hilliest campus. I'm talking about like you are
a bunch of hills.
Oh my! Like when those hoverboards came out, like. There had to be the most sales at KU because I'm talking about everybody. The hills are ridiculous. But no, I really like their campus was cool. It was A&M is like really spread out. So like for example, in the spring when I first got here, all my classes were at West Campus. So I've never even seen. I can't even pronounce some of the buildings over like by the stadium. You know what I'm saying? So like, but KU, there's this thing called Jayhawk Boulevard, and it's literally like a strip where you go up the hill. You can get dropped off. There's like a little roundabout where you can get dropped off, and there's about 6 or 7 buildings each side, and it's like you're walking through that, and like it's like a big huge hallway outside. Like you can see new people every day. I mean, it's smaller than A&M, and so but you know, KU was cool though. I really like their campus, and like a lot of trees. I like cold weather, so it got cold quick. It was nice.
You don't like that cold. So you like this right now? Like how it is right now?
Yeah, it's perfect. I don't like it, man. My whole deal is like you can get, if you're cold, you can get warm. But if you're hot, I'm just saying you can be butt naked and you're still hot,
sweating and stuff.
But I can be, you know, I can be freezing cold. But man, I'm gonna give me a blanket. I'm gonna get a heated blanket. I'm gonna get some hand warmers.
That's true.
But see, I like fashion. You can wear, guys can wear a lot more in the winter. You can layer up. You can get a hoodie, then you can get a puff coat.
That's true. Yeah, in the summer you can't really wear. You can wear a t-shirt.
It's short, but it's like you don't want to get sweaty.
That's true.
Because I'm saying, especially, I feel like male athletes sweat the most for no reason. Yeah, like for no reason. Like you can just be walking
sweating for no reason.
Like I used to dread. This is bad. I'm not saying I used to skip class, but I used to delay sometimes because I used to park over here before everybody went parking ticket century for some reason. And I used to, I'm like, man, that's a walk from Texas to the stadium. Here's how bad it got. Kellen used to Uber from Texas.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
that's what I was like, bro. Like this is
right from here to Bright.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Like,
on the game days, like when we had to leave our car here, he's like, dude, I'm not walking across the street. I was like,
I can see him saying
like, who are we turning into? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
people are gonna see me walking across the street.
I was like, he's like, can't be seen across the street. I'm like, bro. He's like, I don't want to be drenched in sweat, which I felt for him.
Right.
I just couldn't let myself call Uber for this short of a walk.
Right. You hit old school with your nice little jog over there.
No, I'm not even gonna do that. When I was going, but I wasn't full speed. I had my suit in my hand. I'm jaywalking. There's cars everywhere. And I'm just like, I'm not being that guy, but I'm just, there's the red light, and there's a train that hits every 30 seconds over here. So you're bound to get traffic stoppage. So, but no, I can never get the Uber from here to Texas.
Wait, so hold on. At what point at KU did you decide you were gonna transfer? Like, when did you start thinking about it?
So going into my redshirt freshman year, I only had like one catch for 5 yards in game one.
Mm-hmm.
I really wasn't playing that much. Mm-hmm. Like I said, no really reason. It was just, and then I was one of those deals. I kind of like, not you get wrapped up. But KU's dangerous because, like I said, it's such a fun school. The environment's so fun. Like it's hard, or it's easy to lose track of what your focus. Like for some reason, not saying that I was doing this, but like for example, you could easily go out at KU 7 nights a week. Okay. And like have a good time. But there's always something going on. Mm-hmm. And so and if you're football and y'all are 0-10, you're probably not putting as much preparation as you are if you're 11-0 getting ready for the Orange Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Right. Not that that's what we were doing, but it's just natural thing that people do. Like whenever you have less of a focus, you tend to start worrying. And there's such a social life out there. It's easy to get wrapped up into it. And I'm not saying I was no Manziel, like I'm getting crazy like that, but it was one of those deals like, it was easy just
you saw the opportunity.
Yeah, it was easy to set your mind offside of football. It's like we didn't do bowl prep ever, so like KU's done with football right now. Like they're just enjoying their time off being a regular student. Right. And it came to one day I was just thinking, I was like, man, are you here to go to school or are you here to be a football player? And it was one of those. I told my parents, I was like, I'm still trying to play football. Like I've been doing this my whole life, and so had to make the transition. I was going into my second year of spring though. I did like a week of spring ball. Probably practiced like 5 reps maybe. Yeah. Like things just weren't looking good. I was like, we got a new OC. I was like, I just kind of. It was one of those deals. It was like you hear it so many times. Oh, I should have been playing. The coaches were doing this and that, and like I've never been the one to type make excuses. One, because I'm a coach's kid, so I know like you don't want to hear that, but it's like deep down, even if you don't say it, you can think that like, man, I should be playing. I should be doing this. Yeah. So it's like. It was one of those deals. I kind of wanted to shut myself up. Like, all right, well, let's go JUCO, where you have a free, fresh start. Okay, if you're that good, they're going to recruit you, and if you're not, then it's your own fault because you don't. I mean, I knew people there. It was like you're a hometown kid here. This is like the best situation for you. You're gonna have the best support. My grandma was like an hour to the street, and what was cool about my JUCO. Like, Last Chance U, Independence. See, we played them, but see, their conference rules, you can have unlimited out-of-state kids. My JUCO, you can only have 15 out of state. Okay. And so most of the kids are from Oklahoma. So and Oklahoma's not, like I said, it's not Texas. Like you've got a familiarity with everybody in there. So that was really cool, like getting to be back home. And I was like, man, it's really better. Like I say I would bet on myself a lot, but like I really did. It was like you either do it or you don't. Right. Then it's like, well, then if maybe you do get a big offer and you do get to go play there, and then you can see if you're really that good. Yeah. But if you're not, then like. This is the best way. Like it was one of those like it's a 50-50. You're either gonna do it or you're not. So there's no one else's fault. Right.
I can find a lot of appreciation for that too. I know a lot of guys, you're in a position where you're not playing and stuff like that. They'll blame it on the coaches or they'll blame it on the teammates or the situation, or they're blaming other people. Yeah. But for you to kind of step up and say, okay, I'm gonna put this on me and see what else I can do with it, right? And see where I can take it. And so when you transferred from Kansas, you already knew you were going back home.
Yeah. One, because like I said, I wanted to go to that JUCO out of high school. Two, I already knew some friends there. Right. And one of my best friends from high school, he's a year younger than me. He was actually already there and was like, Jace, you'll love this coaching staff. A lot of the kids are your age. Because in JUCO, you can be there 3 years technically. You can be there for a redshirt year. Right. Then you're like freshman, sophomore, but it's still 5 years. You get 5 years of eligibility, like once you sign that NLI or whatever it is. And so he was already there a year redshirt. And he was like, dude, or he didn't get redshirt. He played played a little bit of games, but he was like, you'll love it up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, started getting me in contact with the coaching staff, and it was one of those deals. It was just like I really didn't have to do anything because it was just the right feeling. It was like I was in the right situation, being back home, and I know how JUCOs can be, and I knew how like these coaches were. I was like, all right, you know, they're gonna take care of me, because it was what was so cool about my JUCO is everybody was. I mean, it sounds corny, but literally everybody was on the same mission. Like even the coaches, like. Yeah, no, there's no knock being a JUCO coach by any means, but at the end of the day, they want to move up. They want to go to D1, or they want that pay raise. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, coaching is great, changing kids' lives is great, but at the end of the day, like, you want to get paid. Yeah, absolutely. And so what's so cool is like my head coach at JUCO, he's now the tight ends coach at Minnesota. So I mean, like working with PJ Fleck, you know, one of the new masterminds of college football. So it's like he had that work ethic. My running backs, who's a running backs coach, tight ends coach. So my coach. He's now the running backs coach at Northwestern State, so I actually got to see him week 1. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of our coaches moved up too, and then
so it was like a stepping stone for everybody. So everyone
it was like
the same mentality.
No one was on some trying to overstep. It was all like, hey, we're all in this together. Like let's. And it was really it was kind of like that high school football feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like not saying we were wearing our jerseys to class on Fridays, but it was definitely like it was back to the to the basics. Like it was just it was simple. It was football. That's all that mattered. It really helped me refocus too.
Yeah.
Like
what was the JUCO life like, man? Because you know a lot of people, you see the Last Chance U. It's rough to some guys on there.
I read some tweets. I read some tweets, and I'm like, man, we were sleeping in our vans, eating. I'm like, man, like, where are y'all going? Like, y'all, that sounds worse than jail. Like, ain't no. I mean, I'm not saying
that's how people describe it.
I ain't calling their bluff by any means, but JUCO for me, like I said, I've been privileged my whole life. Like I've never had to go without. You know what I'm saying? My parents have done a good job providing for me. So it was really humbling for me to get to go into that situation because. Like to them, I was Jace thinks he's so good. He was like, he's a bounce. Like that's the big word is bounce back, and like bounce backs at D1. I mean, at JUCOs are like the
guy who come from D1.
Oh yeah,
there wants to be big
like
shots.
Everybody's like, oh my gosh, he's a bounce back. Like the coaches treat you different, but it's weird. Like that's how some schools are. Yeah. And so like, and my whole deal is, and it's in you. Like I said, I told you I've moved around a lot. So my whole deal is when I go into a new scene, it's like, you know, keep low, be respectful, and just work hard. Then like. Those people will like that's how you'll meet people, if that makes sense. You know
I got you.
It's easy to click with those people, and so that's kind of when I came to my JUCO. I really didn't talk to anybody for about probably a week, not a week, but it was like not on so disrespectful, but just like I ain't gonna, y'all been here, like this is y'all's team, like let me work my way in. I ain't trying to overstep because like I said, they were all my age, so that means they'd been there 2 years already. So it was like you know this is their thing, and that's like and so went in there. But see, our dorm's called Dyer Hall.
Dyer Hall.
Yeah, Dyer Hall, Dirty Dyer, Paradise Hall, man, whatever you want to call it. Like it's so old. Like when my dad went to that JUCO back when he was playing baseball. They still had those dorms there. Like I'm talking about me and my roommate. He's like 6'5", 300, big lineman. Yeah, and we're in a room like maybe the size of here. Yeah, I mean we both have our twin beds. I mean. The rooms, it's what you make. It really is what you make it. Like there were some rooms in Dyer that were horrible. Like I was like, I would never let my parents come in here. But then me and him, like you could fix them. You know what I'm saying?
I could fix it up a little bit.
We finessed it a little bit. Like we brought our own beds. We had mattresses. Like we had the TV set up. We had a rug. Like,
y'all had like the hot tub in there, like Josh Rosen.
Basically, we had like a hot tub and then everything. Had an air hockey table. We're playing. Okay, But no, what was the coolest thing about JUCO and is the camaraderie, like how close you get with those guys. Because here, like, I'm close to my team here. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys I can call. Right. But at the end of the day, you guys are going your separate ways to your house. That's true. JUCO, all 50, 70 of you are all in a 3-story place. So it's like
y'all a family for
it's a kickback every night. Yeah. Every room there's it's 8 or 10 deep. One room's got 2K, one room's got Fortnite. Yeah. One room is talking about the girls that's over in the other dorm. Like I'm telling you, like there are some dudes at JUCO who will die for the girls who go to JUCO, which there's nothing wrong with them by any means. It's just like
I believe it.
You know what I'm saying? It's like how can you put that much time in someone who's only there temporary? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like y'all are trying to meet y'all's soulmates at JUCO when y'all are both fixing to leave. Like, how does that work? That's what I'd give my roommate crap for. I'm like,
set this up for
I'm like, you would die. Like that was our whole deal. Like you would die for Harold Hall. Like you'd risk it all. Like because the whole deal is you're not supposed to be over there because football has curfew and stuff. So JUCO and the food was horrible. Like, I mean it's cafeteria food. I feel like there's no one who has good cafeteria food. It could be anybody. You're gonna get tired of cafeteria food. That's true. But ours was a little suspect. Like sometimes the chicken was really pink and like I was a big cereal. I ate cereal all the time. You're right. I lived off the Captain Crunch and Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, my boy eating up the chum bucket over there.
Right.
And so then when did you start getting recruited? Was it like midway through the season?
I actually had a lot of people starting to reach out to me, like smaller school, like Conference USAs and stuff, before I went to the JUCO.
Right.
But it was like, hey, I'm gonna go. I don't want to. My whole deal was like, I'm not about to go to, not settle by any means, but it's like if I'm gonna do it, I want to get recruited. Like I'm not gonna go sit out a year at a school.
See the full
like
scope of
yeah, exactly. And so it was about. I guess I didn't start at first in my JUCO. Like the first 3 games, I got like limited reps. I just wasn't playing that much. And then it came about, I'd say September is when I started getting offers. First one was FIU with Butch Davis. I was like, man, coach with the U. I was like, Jeremy Shockey. I was like, this is set.
Yeah, right.
That's the. I'm not easily persuaded, but it's like I get
easily excited because you're appreciative.
I'm appreciative of things.
Right.
And then I was like, I told my parents, I was like, man, FIU would be cool. Like this is how quick. This is September, and I'm already like, man, this is where I'm gonna go. One of those deals. Then I started to pick up. Then it really got serious when Boise State came in the picture. They came in November. I'm like, man, like that'd be a spot. Like that's epic. Went out there and visited, loved it. And my coach is like, hey, like don't. I was about to commit on the spot. He was like, hey, don't commit, just wait a week. Yeah. He's like, I feel like something's gonna happen. And I'm like, man, all right, I got you. I'll trust you. I'll trust you.
Be patient.
Yeah, I'll be patient. What do you know? 2 days later, I get a call from Coach Craig. And it's like, yo, and I'm like, first off, who's messing with me? I'm like, why are y'all doing this to me? Right. Then I visited A&M, and that was a wrap. And the deal was, it was funny, is like I never posted my offer from A&M like most kids do. You know what I'm saying? Like I posted I was going to visit, but like I didn't even post my offer. I just posted my commitment. So it was like,
right. Like, he had an offer?
What?
Like he has an offer?
Yeah, it's one of those deals. Surprised. And so it's like a lot of the others, but it's kind of scheme. Like they didn't do me. They did it on purpose, but it's like they didn't want me to post it. Because then it's like they knew how schools are. If they see a 5-star caliber program offer someone, then everybody's gonna come offer. It was like, that's true. I was kind of hidden. They wanted to keep it hidden, like a little hidden jewel type thing. Exactly. So, but like I said, it ended up working out. So, but yeah, I started getting recruited in about heavy in September, and then visited. And it was actually this time last year when I visited.
Yeah. And so you visited, ended up committing, came here in the spring, right? And so, for me, at that point in my life, so I ended up, I retired last December, right? Stopped playing.
We just missed each other, didn't we?
Yeah, just missed each other. So, like, whenever I retired, January, February, March, I was actually back home with my family because I was trying to, like, transition and not be around it so much. Right. And so I went back home, and I wasn't really paying attention to the recruiting class. I wasn't paying attention to what guys were coming in. And really the first time I was around the football again was around the spring game time. And so I'm out there watching the spring game. Right. And this tight end is busting wide open on the defense, and I'm out here like, "What? Come on, bro! It's a tight end." Yeah, what y'all got going on? And little did I know, this is Jace Sternberger, who I didn't know at the time. And then later on, got to watch you some more, and I was really impressed. And yeah, man, now I've got to know you a little bit, but it was just crazy. I didn't know you at that time. I was like, "Who's this tight end, bro?"
It changes quick. It was one of those spring ball was crazy for me because, like I said, we had tight ends, but not tight ends how like that offense was used. Right. So I'm talking about. I'm like, it wasn't even football practice for me in the spring. It was cross country. Like every day, I was getting my mind right. I'm putting up yards, like 7K, 8K of practice, like yards. And I'm just like, man, like. But it was one of those deals. It was like, one, I knew it was a test. They want to see how much I can handle. 2, I wasn't about to be a punk. I'm not about to say I can't do it. Like, no, because then it's like, oh, you're a typical JUCO, can't work. And I was like, man, I ain't trying to hear nothing from no one.
So you
came
with your mindset.
Right, like I had to have that mindset. It was my whole mindset is like, no one can guard me, no one's as fast as me. You could be 20 times faster than me, I'm still gonna say I'm fast. You know what I'm saying? It's just how that mindset I have to play with. Yeah. And then, but it would be like the reward of like being done with practice and like having other teammates come up to you like, man, like, are you okay and this and that, and like like it was literally like you would have thought like I was on like a hotline, like I was like really like people were really worried about me because it's like, man, you good? I heard how he was talking to you today, and I'm like, hey man, I'm good and stuff, Yeah. Mikado's always like, Jace, come here, let's pray and stuff. I'm like, all right, I got you. I mean, like, it really was dark for a while because I was like, not necessarily like they were being mean or anything, but just how hard I was having to work, and like while I learned the offense and stuff, it was, it was a gut check. Like it really tested me. Like I said, prevailed, and now we're here.
No, it's funny you said that, though, because I was talking to, this is before I even knew you. I was talking to Landis during, this was like fall camp this year. And he was just telling me about, he was like, yo, bro. He said, bro, Jace be over there getting worked by Coach Mister. I love what you mean, bro. He's like, yo, every time he comes to the line, bro, he's I'm
breathing heavy. You don't understand. Like, I understand, like like you have to be in a lot, you know, like
right.
You want to be in, well, you got to play like you're gonna be in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But my deal is this. I'm like, all right, I'll work with y'all, but work with me. We got me. Like I'm telling you, there'll be a practice where it's like usually Tuesdays when Coach Craig writes the script. Coach Craig loves making me run for some reason.
Yeah.
So and when Coach Brewster used to make the scripts, all of it was touchdown plays for me. So like it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Because he's tight in, but I was like, all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm talking about they'll make me run a flag route. Then he's like, Jace, come on, we'll do 5 plays. Twos will go 3, then ones 5 more plays, whatever. Yeah. So it'll be like corner route, you know, if that's 15 yards. Jace, hurry back. Then we're gonna run a snake route, double moves, you know, post corner. Then all right, Jace, come back. We're gonna do that trick play. You know, the ball I dropped against LSU, where it was like the back. Well, usually perfect world, that guy's beat. Throws it farther, I catch it like this. We run that play probably about 40 times a practice. So then we do that, and it's like I'm just running. I'm running 4, 5 plays of 30 yards.
They want to see you open up a little bit.
Yeah, so they're like, Jace, we need you to gain weight. And I'm just like, let's think. What do you want me to do more? You want me to run this, or should I just gain weight? Because it was like, as much as I was running, it was impossible.
What did you weigh when you got here?
Well, when I got here, I was like 238.
Okay.
Something like that.
And then what did you play at this year?
Played this year like 244, 245.
Okay. You gained about 5, 6, 7
Yeah, but
pounds.
see, I was 253 in fall camp.
Yeah, it always says it on TV. It's like 255 or something like that. I'm like, not 255.
Yeah, he's not 255. But yeah, no, it was lowest I played at this year was like 241. Yeah. But heaviest was like 245.
Right.
But it's been good, being able to eat and get back to get back right.
For sure. What's y'all schedule like this week, man?
Chilling this week. We got 7 on. Like not it's like voluntary, like Kellen set it up and Nick, they set it up, and so we go do that. And then we got a lift, like I said, voluntary lifts 2 times this week, and practice starts Thursday, so I really don't know.
This Thursday?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, y'all about to get it popping. Man, so tell me, this coming into this year, like at what point this season did you like kind of get the mindset that, oh, I can do this, or I can be successful at this level? Or was that kind of, did you already have that in the spring?
Spring game, it was one of those deals, like, you know, you hear people, like your friends say, oh, Jace, you're this and that. And you know, like,
you're so good, bro.
Yeah, it's like, bro, we don't expect this. And I'm just like,
right.
But, you know, the spring game, it was kind of one of those, like, I told you so moments. I was just kind of like, you know, like, all right, I got this. And then going into the season, it was more of a, like, I just had to have that same mindset. And it was really the way our offense is, like the scheming of it. I was like, Jace, like it's lit. Like you're gonna set up for you, like you have to like really mess up not to get the ball in this offense. Like you really have to do something wrong. Right. And with me, I felt like I was more athletic than a lot of the linebackers I was guarding against too. So that was like I had to step up already. So I was like, man, Jace, like there's really no reason like you shouldn't be getting a lot of balls this year. Right. And it was also one of those deals. It was just like, I feed off other people and stuff. So like, not like I need gas, like people hyping me up, but it's like when I see like see Trey or Jamal make a play, like that makes me gives me more excited and stuff. So like being out there and seeing how excited like my teammates would get whenever I would make a play, that made me just want to make it more. So I'd probably say for sure after the Northwestern State game. Yeah. I mean, it was Northwestern State, but still I was like, all right, like this could be really fun. Like this could be fun. Like
yeah. Man, so when your roommates now, you live with Kellen and Jamal, you said. Yeah. Who'd you live with in the spring?
Spring, I lived with Colton Blanton.
Okay.
Which was, like I said, it was good. It was kind of funny because, like, here I am, this old man. I'm 21, and Colton's an early high school transfer, or not transfer, but graduate. You know, he's 17 years old, baby face, and I'm just like, it was hilarious.
Yeah. And so you moved in with Kellen and them during the summertime?
Yeah, we all moved in, me, Kellen, and Javon in the summer.
What's their relationship like off the field, man? Y'all pretty close?
Yeah, I'll say it. It's really laid back. It's easy to get chill with them. Like I said, we're always so busy. So it's like when we go home, it's just when we really don't talk about football that much as you would think. Like a lot of people are like, they think me and Kellen like right when we go home. Yeah, we start. Hey, Jace, if he does, no. Like,
you run this next time.
Yeah, because it's like me. I know what Kellen goes through a day and like all the stuff he has to deal with. So it's like I hate talking about football outside of it. Like right when I just got to practice. I always talk to my dad, and it's like, you know, take a couple of deep breaths before I talk because it's like, you know, I know he's going to ask all about football. But it's like when we get home, it's like, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit. We'll talk about the funny stuff of football. We won't talk about like the X's and O's because it's like we hear enough of that a day. So but no, it's really chill. Like I said, Fortnite, we all listen to music, watch music videos, watch interviews. Just getting
on boys' head. All right, so tell me this: who was the best player you think you played against in college so far?
We were just talking about this, but see, I didn't like ever hit him, but I feel like the best player I played against him, and I just watched. I was like, man, like this dude moves different. Is that Jeffrey Simmons from Mississippi State?
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. He just hit different. Like when I was watching film of him, and I was like, I respect Eric so much, and some of the how he wasn't like punking them by any means, but just the way he's moving, I'm like, man, like there's people, like I feel like I'm a weight room strong guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna lift in the weight room, like I'm strong off that. Then there's just people who are naturally strong, like who just do push-ups and like. They got a tree branch and like bricks on the end. Like that's how he grew up. Like he hits like that. Like he hits angry. Like he's just mad. And then I say him. I say Simmons from Mississippi State, and then Josh Allen.
Okay, Josh Allen was nice.
Oh man,
he was
granted,
nice.
I did a bad release and I rushed my route, but he did. He ran with me on one of the routes. So I was like, man, all right, I'll give you credit.
Josh Allen opening up and running with.
I was like, man, all right. First off, we're not gonna act like I didn't get held off the line, which I do every play now.
Right.
And then I still rushed the route, but I was just like, man, I'll give him his props. And then Grant from LSU, number 9, Delpit.
Oh yeah, young dude. Yeah, he's gonna be nice.
That's the worst too, because he's cool as Kellen Jamal. So it's like me and him are cool. Like we don't. I ain't gonna say like we boys, but you know what I'm saying. Like it was like a mutual know each other. So it's like, man, like I had to get the. So
that's balling. So what was your favorite game this year, man?
I mean,
LSU.
LSU was just because the.
But go besides LSU. How about that?
Kentucky.
I
thought Kentucky game was fun.
Remember live.
Kentucky game was fun. Clemson was crazy, but Clemson was one of those. That's my first time being in Kyle Field, like with some noise. So it was like it was one of those. It was hard to all take in because it's like Kendrick caught that ball, and I'm just like, what the hell is going? I'm like, what is? I'm like looking around. I feel the ground shaking. I'm like, do we need to leave? Like, is this an earthquake? Like, what's about to go on? Like my JUCO has 5,000 people. All right, like, that's who's sitting on this front row over here. Like, what's going on? So no, probably Kentucky. Just the atmosphere and like. That was our first time beating a ranked team that year, or I don't know, something like that. They were, whatever they were, 13, and so it was exciting getting to beat them, and then just hearing how loud it was when Trey jumped over the line, like
it was hype,
that was cool. So Kentucky's by far my favorite game, besides LSU,
Kentucky,
and South Carolina.
That's dope, man. So you played against a bunch of Big 12 teams. The argument a lot of guys like to have is Big 12 versus SEC. Wow, how different was the competition?
And like I said. I can't speak for it in the physicality aspect. Like I said, I wasn't in the games at KU as much. I played special teams at KU a lot, but
I
grew up. Yeah. Oh my God.
Running down tackle boys.
Man, I got remind me about that. I got a shield. I was the shield on punt team. I'll get you on that. I swear this is horrible.
Yeah.
But growing up an OSU fan, I've watched Big 12 my whole life. So I feel like if anybody can be I can honestly say I was biased Big 12.
Right.
Like I used to be the kid at home. I was like, man, I'm so tired of the SEC, this and that. They're not that good. Like, I was 100% that guy.
Okay.
I'll admit it.
Yeah.
But I'm biased. I grew up freaking 40 minutes from OSU and an hour from OU. Like I'm brainwashed.
Right.
Playing in those games, I was like, all right, like dang, like some of these dudes hit pretty hard, kind of whatever. Man, I did 2 practices at A&M, and I'm like, all right, this is different. Like, this is just different.
Yeah.
And my parents came to watch a practice, and they were like, you guys just look bigger. Like, everyone's just bigger. Then it was like, I think it was about week 3, and all my friends, cause I really do have a good support system back home. Like I said, I've lived in freaking 8 different cities, so now they're all supporting me, and everybody's kind of like, man, y'all just look like so much bigger and like stronger, and I'm just like, yeah. And then I think it was after we played Bama. After this, someone says, like, "What's it like playing Bama?" I'm like, "Man, it's Bama. They just the SEC team. Like we play like that every week." I really, like, wow, Jace, you've turned into one of those guys. Or it's like now it's SEC or nothing. Because like my parents are the same way. And it's no disrespect to the other teams, but I went home. It was after South Carolina. We had the bye week, right?
Yeah,
we're watching football. I was bored watching those games. I'm just like, this ain't even the same. Like it just really, because but you got to think, I was literally playing. Was it 7 games in a row where we were banging? It's physical every week, and then I'm off a week. I'm like, man, I'm gonna watch some football. It's about to be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm watching the OU TCU game. I'm just like, I can't even watch football the same anymore. It's Coach Fisher's fault. I'm just like, Jimbo's not letting that happen. We can't. Oh my God, like, I'm literally like, what is going on?
Yeah,
but it's not even close. I'll be honest with you. Like there's something like OU, respectively, like
they got some talented teams.
They did their thing against Georgia, but week in, week out. I don't see them doing it. I really don't. I just don't see their defenses doing that. Offenses can't. Offenses are so. I feel like it's so they're up and down the SEC. Like, it really all the front seven dictates everything in this league.
Right.
And like I said, we've experienced that firsthand. And so I was just, I don't know. I don't want to be one of those guys where it's like, oh, SEC's way better than Big 12. But it's like, I've been getting so much backlash. I just tweeted something smart up on Twitter, right, about the whole Mackey incident, right? Which
right.
I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, some people are mad.
Yeah.
Well, then I think I'm the most hated man in Iowa right now. I don't know what I did to any of these people.
Right. What did you do?
But they're all tweeting me. They're like, man, Font and Hawkerson are way better than Jace. This dude sucks. I'm just like, hey, like, I haven't said anything, but I appreciate like y'all doing this, whatever. Right. And it's like,
why didn't that happen? Why did you get left off the list?
I don't know. You know, there's a lot of things on Twitter. It's like, oh, he didn't block, but we just had the 38th best rushing. See, this is my deal. I just have all this stuff built up.
1,500.
This dude tweets, and like I said, it's not like I'm one of those guys who just like searches my name and just reads all this stuff. Like a lot of the stuff I see is stuff I get sent to me. So I'm like, all right, kind of not makes me mad, but it's like, all right, I'm too big of a smart aleck to let this go. And I'm just starting to think, and it's like, this guy's like, man, Jace performed this. Like, this dude broke down like 3 of my games, and it was like against UAB, Northwestern State. It was like our non-conference games.
Right.
And he's like, Hawk and Font are doing this and that and that. I'm really thinking, I'm like.
So he broke some of the games down. You didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was like the games. Like, I didn't have any. He's like, he had 0.6 touchdowns, 4 yards. I'm like, dude. I was like, and all I'm thinking, I was like, I don't get wrapped up in it because I think they're both great players. Right. And this one's just like, I don't worry about other players. They don't worry about me. But it was just these fans. They're like, oh, the SEC's overrated. I'm really just thinking, I'm like, y'all play Ohio State. Like, that's the best team maybe y'all play. Like, we played Clemson, LSU, and Bama in 3. Like, those are the, they talk like he hasn't done anything against ranked opponents. I was like, yeah, those are 3 top 10 teams we played. And I was just like, I don't understand like how you can even argue it anymore. So like, that whole goes in a whole circle. Like, I just can't talk football outside the SEC, like player aspects. I'm just like, y'all don't do what we do. And you just don't. Like, people don't understand. Like, people say it's so biased and that it's so overrated, but it's like, there's a reason. Like, everybody.
There's a reason people are saying
there's
that.
There's a reason, like, 20 of the picks are always SEC in the first round of the draft. Like, it's nuts. Because it's like, I remember every week I went in there, I'm like, okay, like, you need to pay attention to this, or like there's always a unit who sticks out. I mean, you can say that about other Big 12 teams or SEC, whatever it is, but there's literally in the SEC, there's at least one person at each position, if not that year, before he graduates, is gonna have a chance to play in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
on every single team.
Like, there's gonna be at least one linebacker from this team that's gonna go in the next 3 years. There's gonna be one lineman, one quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Hold on, pause 1 second. Good.
I gotta tell you that punch.
Oh yeah.
So punch shield, that's hilarious.
So tell the punch shield story, man.
Okay.
This is at JUCO.
Yeah. No, this is at KU. This is the year we beat Texas.
Okay.
This is the game we beat Texas.
Okay.
So you know, I'm second. I was like the utility guy on special teams. Like, wherever I didn't start on. I think I started on one of them, kickoff return.
Yeah.
But I was the next guy up for every position on like all the other units.
Right.
So our punch shield guy tears his Achilles literally 2 days before. And I'm like, Jace, you got to go in. And like, I'm like, man.
At this point, had you played any shield?
Nah, maybe one game. But shield, you know what shield is? That's like bangers. Like, that's like big.
He's a big dude,
big body. I'm 230 doing this.
Right.
And I'm like, man. All right. So playing Texas, big game. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get Charlie Strong out of here.
Yeah.
So I go up for my first time at punch shield. You know, the front line, you know, usually they're like going to bump the guy.
Yeah, they you know, take some heat off of him.
Yeah. We ain't do that this play. I'm not making this up. This dude was 6'6", probably about 280. And I'm talking about he's in a receiver stance, and he's just full sprint at me, and I'm like, all right, bet. Boy, I'm talking about snaps my neck back, ass in the air, boom, done, like that.
Yo, bent you back like Kendrick?
Oh no, it was like, I'm talking about, it was like worse. I literally got up, and I'm like, what in the hell just happened? And I'm like looking around. I'm running over to the sidelines, and they're like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, what's crazy, dude? It's the first quarter. Like, KU, we punted a lot.
Yeah.
Like, we had the most 3 and outs that nation. Like we punted like 15 times this game. So the first one, you know, was rough. So go back, and I'm like, bro, ain't no way in heck this is about to happen again. Ain't no way this is about to happen again. Bam. Worse the second time. I'm like, dude, what? Like, what is going on? Like, why are you not helping me? Like, the 2 dudes, you know, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, these next 7 or 8 times, these next 7 to 8 times, we start plotting things. Like, it got to the point deal, like, man, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know, in shows, like when there's like time lapses sped up, like it shows them like, or like, okay, perfect example. You know, like when the girl is trying to try on new clothes at the store and like she goes to change, then her friends come out, they're like, nah. It was literally like that with my punt. That's how much I was doing this punt shield stuff. I do it, run back. They're like, okay, we'll try this time. It got to the point where we're in the 4th quarter. I have literally about 15 guys checking on me after play. They're like, bro, you like keep battling. Like, you got one of those deals like Jace is just, the guy didn't pump him at all once. And, you know, and then I'm not acting like I got punked the whole game. There were some plays I stood up for myself. I was like, yeah, man. But
he was giving you money worth though.
What? So now it's 4th quarter. I think we're starting to make a run. We made a 4th quarter run. Yeah. We're on the 5-yard line. Okay. And then, I don't even know. Like, I'm not gonna act like I had a concussion. Like, I was fine, but I was getting rocked. Like, it was one of those boxing movies, like where bang, he's down, 1. Yeah. You know, you get a look. It's Mr. Krabs. You're kind of looking around, make sure like nothing. Like, if they punt returned any of those, like they needed a shield to make the tackle.
You'd be done.
I'm done because I'm still trying to get up and figure out where we're going. Yeah. So we're on the 5-yard line. And I'm looking. I'm like, all right, you know, we just take it. You know, we're just gonna hit. Right. Yeah. This dude smokes me. I'm talking about like I'm like falling back, slow motion. Like I feel like I hear someone sound echoing it. Boom! Like I literally felt like I hear myself drop. We punt the ball. They fair catch it. I look left. I'm not making this up. I'm laying down. I look left, like I'm in a war zone, and I see a yellow flag, and I'm like, this dude just got called for targeting. He's out of here. And like the other shields are like, Jace, you did it. Like, you took one for the team. And I'm like, hey, you know, this is, you know, like I said, I'm like, I know I'm gonna get some love on Monday from this, right? Being the tough guy. Yeah. So the ref goes up to the signal, you know, and makes his call. He's like, false start on the offense. We need a re-kick. I'm like looking, I'm just like, oh my, because my stupid, I start talking trash to the dude. I'm like, yeah, you out of here. Like, I was literally talking smack to this guy. Right. Man, they said false start. He looks at me, he's like, just take a safety so you don't get hurt. I'm like, we're down by 3. We're still gonna be down 1 possession. I'm like, that's not even a bad idea. We should probably just take the safety. Yeah. Man, same thing happened again. I get rolled over again. Right. So fast forward, you know, we win the game, total on the goalpost. It was great. Yeah. You know, me and my dad and my parents, you know, we're pretty funny. Like, we have a good sense of humor. We can laugh at ourselves. Yeah. I go to my dad. I'm like, man. He's like, you good? And I'm like, I'm good. He's like, did you see that? And I was like, and then, you know, they all start laughing. Oh my gosh, haha, trying to make me feel better. You know, I go into film room Monday, and that dude got ripped for not, because he didn't touch him all game. So they're like, Jace, you know, I thought I was about to get clowned on for getting punked.
Right. He's like, Jace, you took one for the team.
Went through all this, and I come home to a message from my dad talking about fatherly love. Yeah. And it was like, look at this crap. And it was literally, because he recorded all my games. It's literally him videotaping me just getting smoked on the goal line. Like, I'm talking like my helmet comes up, and I'm just like, so now anytime we even talk about KU, my dad's like, hey, did you show him the video? I'm like, no, Dad, I didn't save the video. I don't want that video on my phone anymore. Man.
He probably has like on a home video tape or something like that.
Yeah, so you talk about like, if you ever about humbling yourself, if people want to know at home, I get humbled all the time because we always embarrass each other. But
yo, that is hilarious. That's the hardest you've ever been hit, though.
Oh, hardest I've ever been hit. Actually, I don't know, UAB, that dude.
I was about to say harder than UAB.
Yeah, UAB got me, but I got up from that like pretty not quick, but
you're like Tyson Fury.
He just knocked my air out really.
Right.
And then I heard Coach Brewster, get up. I'm like, gotcha, appreciate you. I'm good. Don't ask me, I'm good. But I gotcha. I'll get up.
Yeah, that's hilarious. You know how coach is always yelling, get up every time you're down or something like that? I remember when I tore my ACL one time. You know Coach Price. Coach Price is sitting there yelling at me, get up! What are you doing? I'm like, Coach, my knee, get up! I'm like, bro, you need to calm down with all that. My knee's over here torn.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm just like, man. They feel like a whole punk, and then then they get the MRI and they see something like, oh, and
you're like, oh
yeah,
for real though, man.
Yeah, you're psycho
for real. But yeah, you made it through the whole season in one piece, right?
Blessed, man. Maybe I had rolled an ankle a few times, but it was self-inflicted.
Right.
Both my injuries came. Did we go overtime against Clemson? No. We just both my injuries came fourth quarter though, both on like the same deals where Kendrick's making a crazy catch and someone comes flying into my ankle from him. So, but it was worth it. So I was good. It was one of those,
that's really it was one of those.
And then I guess UAB I just got the air knocked out of me. Yeah, man. But I was fortunate. That's the one thing everybody was talking about, SEC, like your body. And I'm just like, man, like, I got off, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I was fortunate. I feel like we all were, you know, for the most part. Like, we were injured. I feel like we had more injuries during camp than we did during the season. I mean, Jamon during Arkansas, Dono here and there. Yeah. I mean, like, for the most part, I feel like we were pretty fortunate. We
were pretty good this season. We didn't have any major guys get knocked out. Well, besides Jamon, obviously. Kendrick was out for a little bit.
OT was healthy.
I got OT body falling apart. Yeah, it's funny though, man. Man, so you got the All-American award. Yeah. How do you feel about that, first off?
It's crazy. It's one of those things, like I said, you hear people tell you like all these good things, this and that, but you know, you're kind of like, oh, whatever. Right. Like, that was my whole deal. Everybody used to joke. They were like, man, Jace, like, you're going All-American this year. Yeah. And I'm like, man, like, it was Northwestern State. Right. You know, I could play it off. Man, it was the spring game. Then it was like, man, all right, it's week 6. Now it's kind of like, all right, you know, this stuff's kind of getting a little serious.
Yeah, right.
It was one of those things like all like the little weekly awards, like that stuff is cool, but it was like, you know, it's cool, like get on Twitter, all that. But like I've always not big dogged it, but played it off where it's like, you know, like it's cool, whatever. But like the All-American thing, like that, it just hit me different because it was like, I was like, man, like.
You kind of expected it or you were just like.
No, I didn't expect it at all. Like, 'cause I really did it because it was just one of those things like, literally a year ago, I was in a dorm room at JUCO. Like, I was happy I got first team all conference at JUCO. I didn't even get JUCO All-American. Right. And I was like, I'm just literally happy to be in a situation where I'm about to go to the SEC. Dreamed of doing that, and now I'm gonna, you know, I was just grateful to play. Right. And now it's like, you know, get your name outside the stadium. It's like, it's just, I mean, it gives me the chills, like thinking about it. Just
that's right. They put you up on the side.
Yeah, like I didn't even know that. I remember I was walking.
That's dope.
One of my classes with Colopy. I'm walking back to the locker room and like I see all the All-Americans. I was like, man, like that's crazy. I'd never even put me in that category. Not skill wise, but it's like small kid from Oklahoma. Right. Never got recognition. Never got offers. I didn't even get All-State out of high school. Right. I didn't get All-State. It's like I've never been one of the kids.
All district, right?
Yeah, I've never been like the rivals. I've never been on like the, you know what I'm saying?
You weren't like the Kyler Murray, the best quarterback of all time.
I've never been like experienced in the media or stuff or any of that stuff. And like, so like seeing like I said, and I was a nerd growing up, like with like college football. Like,
okay.
I was probably the only 10-year-old watching the Kirk Herbstreit, the college football award show. You know what I'm saying? Like I was Mr. ESPN. Right. And so that's why I was kind of bummed I didn't get to go to the Mackey. I was like, man, I always wanted to go to that award show. Yeah. But it's like seeing my name like on the ticker or like them talking about, I'm just like, man, like it's, you know, like the Lord's, it's a blessing, but
yeah, for real,
it's crazy because like I said, it still hasn't even hit me and my parents yet, just because how much we've been through in these past year and a half, and like I said, God has a plan.
Hey, for real though, man, humility takes you a long way too, man. I can really appreciate that. So, what is your timeline for making a decision about the NFL?
Man, it's one of those things. It's like you don't ever want to look forward, you know, to the future, but you also you gotta be realistic with yourself. But it's like right now, I'm just happy where I'm at. It's like, you know, you don't want to mess up a good thing while you have it. So it's one of those things I've been more just listening, but it's also like, you know, it's like at the end of the day, I'm not about to make a dumb decision if it's going to hurt my future.
Right. Absolutely.
It's like I have a great thing going here. So it's like, why would you want to mess that up?
Absolutely. Oh, then I got to ask you about Coach Brewster leaving. What was your
man? You know,
was it like out of nowhere or what?
No, it wasn't out of nowhere. It was, I guess it was 50-50. Like I said, if you don't know Coach Brewster, you would think it was out of nowhere. Right. But like I said, he was very like, he told we were, I wouldn't say like we were the closest people ever, but like how he is with his tight ends group, like, you know your coach's background and stuff, and like he's from North Carolina. That's where his original house, like he had a couple of homes, you know, that's where his house was, family's there. So it's like, it makes sense, you know, he's not the youngest guy in the world anymore. Like it's not like he's a Lincoln Riley, like on the, you know, just.
You calling him old? That's what you're saying.
Basically, yeah, he's an older guy.
Old man.
So he's, you know, finished his coaching in North Carolina. So it made sense. Like when I tweeted that, like it wasn't on no like cliche. Like I really was like, man, don't bash him.
Yeah, you
like,
know, some people be mad. Really,
yeah, I'm like, man, he's going back home for his family. Like it's like it's a family move. Like at the end of the day, like you can say like, oh, I'm loyal to this team and stuff, but I promise, if you're close to your parents or your brothers and they need something, you're gonna do what they needed. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do what's best for them. For sure. That's like why we moved. I moved to Kingfisher my freshman year. Right. And it went from my my mom has 7 brothers and sisters. Huge family.
Dang.
Huge family.
Okay.
So it was like, we went from they couldn't come see me play because now we all live in an area, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you always got to do what's best for your family. So
absolutely.
I was happy for him, you know. Sucks to see him go, but it's also this new Coach Finley, he's awesome too. So it's like, Coach Fisher's always going to take care of the hires and stuff. Like, you know, people come and go, which that's why you just got to make the most of every relationship you can.
For real, man. It's a business though. But I feel like it would have been easy for you to say, you know, like you getting recruited by this guy to come in, he's here for a year, then leave. It'd be easy for you to say like, man, it's messed up. He's fake. He's a snake. You know, a lot of guys do a lot
of kids. But see, what's also crazy, he didn't recruit me. So it was like, it was more. I have more respect for him actually, just because. Obviously, he knew who I was. Like when they brought me in, it wasn't like, oh, so you're the kid. Like he had a little input on them offering me and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? But it was like he wasn't there. He wasn't on staff yet when I was there, so like he couldn't recruit me illegally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like when he got hired, that's when he could officially call me and stuff, and that was 2 days before signing day. So it was a big trust factor. So how he handled me and like, you know, taught me everything. It was, you know, that's why I'll always respect him. That's why. Like you said, I really can't be mad at a guy. Cause I would do the same thing. Like,
gotta take care of your family
needs. It's like I'm gonna take care of my family, whatever they need. Go back home to them, or so.
Already, man. This is fun, bro. I'm glad you finally came on, man.
I'm glad.
Finally,
man. I told you I'm a big Joe. I've always watched Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, that's my guy. I'm trying to. So like right now, I've been doing a bunch of athletes and stuff, obviously, but I want to eventually take it where like, you know, Joe Rogan has a bunch of different guests on and stuff like that. I want to have guys around campus and stuff like that, different conversations and stuff.
That's what the coolest thing. And I try to tell people, I act like I'm some old like wizard, like I know everything. But like that's another thing. It's kids in Texas are different. Like fresh, like my brother is 18 years old, fixing to turn 19. You know, he's got a deep voice, mature, blah blah blah. Right. Jamon's like 6 months older than him. Jamon is like a grown. You know what I'm saying? Like Jamon is not. He doesn't look 19. I'm not like trying to gas them. Like like Deb, Tuck, like they all look grown. Right. Like kids in Oklahoma don't look like that. Kids in KU didn't look like that. So it's like I feel old, but at the same time I'm like, man, these guys are like way more mature than half the kids I do know. Right. So what were we saying before that?
Having different conversations with guys that are not.
That's the best thing I ever did though. So freshman year at KU, lived with my quarterback, my roommate. But then after it was like second semester, you could move off campus. Okay. Well, I moved to these apartments.
Yeah, got a little freedom.
I lived with three. Yes. Yeah. I lived with 3 kids. Who played no football.
Oh, regular guys on campus.
Two were on the track team. And one was friends with the 2 dudes on the track team. And he's just hilarious. And we became really, really close friends. So like. Being at football all day, you know, it's great to talk about football. I'm not trying to make people think I hate football, but it's like you got to have balance because it's like if you just do one. It's like anything. If all you focus on podcasts, like sooner or later your podcasts are gonna start sucking. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta
gotta have some variety in there.
You gotta go to different things. Like you gotta not be uncomfortable, but you gotta do some things that like a lot of people won't do. That's why I like doing different things. Like it's like man, why are you there? And it's like I don't know, man. Like one, you just see what's out there. But it's like having those 3 roommates is like we talked about football all the time, but it's like I was also hearing stuff about track, and I was also hearing stuff about my friend who's working a job at Home Depot. You know what I'm saying? Like none of my football friends are working at Home Depot.
Yeah, I had
I don't know anything about his coworkers and like what they're doing on their smoke breaks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta expand your like community.
Yeah. So my freshman year I lived with Larry Pryor, who were roommates. Sophomore year I moved in with doing that Kirk Merritt. He's not here anymore. And then last year I moved in. It was just a random guy on campus because my roommate transferred right before moving date, so they put me with a random. This dude was like a computer science major, like worked at a coffee shop, and we had some cool conversations, man. Cause it was like, I mean, at first I was kind of like, I don't want to talk to this dude, you know. Right. But like, he was a really cool dude. We ended up becoming good friends, and like, it's just like he talked about football a little bit, but from a whole different perspective than another athlete.
And that's how theirs was. We talk football, but it'd be like they're more on the fan side of it, and like they would have. That's my deal. Is like I'm more the merrier. Like I like hanging out with a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? If you're cool people, you're cool people. And so like they'd bring their friends over who could give 2 craps about who you are and if you play football or not. So it's like, man, like I'm literally just a regular person.
Exactly.
Like,
he didn't really care.
We
about
just
it
talk.
Either.
Exactly, and that's the coolest thing. And I lived with them for 6 months. That was during the transition when I made that announcement to transfer. So when I really transferred, I can't do any football activities. So I'm literally just a regular student. Like, I'm going to class. I'm at home. It's 10 a.m. and I'm watching I'm watching the television. I'm like, dude, like, you should be doing something. I was like, you're not football anymore. So it was like getting to live that life for a little bit. Talk about like humbling yourself and like,
for real. Yeah.
Cause you kind of, not that I've ever thought the world revolves around me, but it's like a lot of kids do. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just like that's just the sense of entitlement. And so, being at KU, I think we were 2 and 22 my 2 years there. Yeah, we were 2 and 22. You know what I'm saying? You're not necessarily getting the attention that a lot of these A&M players, like like your Christian Kirks, Armani, like you're not getting treated like how they were. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so then going JUCO. And like, not saying being at the bottom on like some Drake stuff, but like being like popularity wise, it's a drastic change from here to A&M. Right. And so being at A&M, that's kind of what I've like noticed. I'm like, man, like some of these kids have no idea because it's like, they have to introduce us like, hey, football players, hey, basketball players, hey, baseball players, like I just wish people would get to expand and like just not live another life. Like I said, you gotta love what you do. Yeah.
Just step outside of your circle sometimes.
I wish people would understand there's more to stuff than just sports.
So much more.
Actually other stuff, and there's a lot smarter people out there than us.
For sure, man. I might start having some different guests on. I think I'm gonna do Mikado later in the week.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a good conversation to have.
You just gotta have different people. Like that's why I like Joe Rogan. You probably never watched that swim one I told you.
I did, bro. I watched it right after you sent it to me.
Man, I told you what did it say? She pedaled. She's a stroke, like 90 strokes every minute.
Yeah, bro, crazy.
I'll be mind blown watching his podcast.
Yeah, I love Joe Rogan, man. He need to get me on a podcast, man.
That's like a bucket list thing. It's like
be at a Joe Rogan podcast,
man.
Hey, for real.
Even if he just makes me look stupid, because I feel like he knows everything.
He has like a little information. Oh, speaking on that, Colopy. You said you got Colopy.
Yeah.
I remember having a class with Colopy my freshman year, and you know how he goes around at the beginning and asks everybody where they're from.
Yeah.
Every town that somebody said they were from, he has some sort of relation to it, bro. Man, it was crazy. And that's like how Joe Rogan is. He has like.
I'm really starting to value that in people. Like when I they always say like talk to like the older people, like they know so much. But it's like, there's some old people who really aren't that talkative. But like the ones who do, like Colopy, who travels a lot, like that stuff. I could literally listen to that stuff all day because it's like it's not gossip, but I mean at the end of the day, it kind of is. Like you're like hearing all like the stories back then, and you're just like, man, like literally the world's so big yet it's so small because it's like. Just connections, how you can meet.
Right. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Like I said, bro, a lot of fun. I'm glad you finally came on, man. We gotta do it again sometime.
No doubt.
It'd be a lot of fun. What is your name on Twitter and Instagram so people can follow you?
_ Jace Stern. Both of them simple. I couldn't put Sternberger. It's too long.
Yeah, too long.
It's ugly too.
Yo, bro, you should get a whenever you're famous, like famous, you should get a Sternberger. Like create a burger at a restaurant.
That's what I'm trying to. I know we can make a lot of money.
Yo, for real.
I'd even let them, but no, they couldn't spell it because they'd have to spell like my last name. Yeah. But I mean, I hope hopefully I can like leave a legacy where they feel where they want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the All-American help my status. But I'll throw my little pitch in there.
Start a little restaurant out here. Come get your Sternbergers.
So, we can just need a few investors, and me and you could do it. We could have a podcast on one side of the restaurant. And get your food, sit down, and just listen.
Do like a live podcast.
Exactly.
That'd be dope, man. That'd be dope. Already, man, for sure. For all you guys who are listening at home, be sure to send in questions, comments for anybody you like to hear on the show or any topics like to hear discussed on the show. Jace, you already subscribed to our channel on YouTube?
Yes, sir.
And Spotify and iTunes?
Not Spotify and stuff. I'm
working
on that.
We're on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, go subscribe. If you have, leave a comment, rating, and review. We're trying to, take this thing to the next level.
I'm all about that. I'm all about it.
Already, man. But a lot of fun, bro. We got another big time guest on later in the week, and we're gonna keep it rocking and rolling. Good having you on, Jace.
Glad to be here.
Already, man. Peace.